Alright guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. Wanted to get a TUR and LR tier list out before we move into the 11th anniversary content. I think things are pretty tricky right now because we are still getting acclimated to the artificial life form red zone. It does feel like the hardest fights of the artificial life form red zone are kind of like the hardest challenge right now. But I do think, Goku Black and Zamasu can still be relevant. Obviously, Tamagami 1 is very, very difficult. There is other fights like the Gohan, Goten, and Trunks fight, which is very challenging. Right, there is a lot of content. It does feel like some of the trickiest stuff, though, is places where we would want dodge, but then there's Tamagami 1 where dodge doesn't really help that much, and then there's also the Gohan, Goten, and Trunks fight. So remember, we are kind of in this sort of like matchup based content here. Let's just jump in. I was really struggling at the end of this list. So here, I'm gonna get Sin in right here. Now the Omega Shenron team is still going to clap up basically everything pre-artificial life form red zone, right? And Sin is pretty much LR Omega Shenron's best friend. But, I mean, I found that Omega can struggle badly in the Cell Max red zone fight, obviously, right? Like, it's very, like, you need really crazy luck for seemingly Omega to even be able to survive a Cell Max AoE, depending upon what's going to happen, right? I do feel like Sin is still, like, very good. That first turn, he can go slot 1. Then after that, he could still do reasonable damage, orb changing, and just kind of hang in there in slot 2. I feel like we can get him here at 10. Let me get number 9 here, which is in Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. In Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, usually it's not really going to be a character that's going to be able to go slot 1. But what really, really helps him, and this helps all of these Super Saiyan 4 characters, is the nullification. At the end of the day, we could say whatever YOLO against Bio Broly, right? Like nullification. Against Cell Max, he's got his 70% chance to nullify it. Really helpful, right? Like he could put up a good fight in a lot of these fights, that have dodge canceling or need us to potentially dodge the super. Remember, in the Gammas fight and the Bio Broly fight, it gets to a point where you can't really tank the supers. You need to dodge or have the nullification. You're gonna need to do one of those. So that's going to be very, very important there. So in Gogeta, I think with his nullification is huge. Obviously, the fusion team at, like fusion/future team we could run with the blues. I mean, the Super Saiyan 4 Gogetas can still work really well, right? All right, next. So let me just grab these two. I was toying around with a couple of different versions of this. I started out thinking I wasn't even going to have 16 on here, but thinking about it, I probably would say I like 16 better than Gamma 1. I found the first 2 hits Gamma 1 takes are really rough, dude. Like, it's really rough. Especially, like, if he starts out in slot 7, it's rough, man. With this guy. Whereas 16 doesn't really have that issue. I mean, Bio Broly could insta-kill him with his damage, sure. And Gamma 1 has the nullification right here, which works against Bio Broly. But I think if we consider Android 16's active and his unit super and his intro, which is just boom, hitting all allies with extra defense, I feel like I would put 16 in front of Gamma 1. I don't know. This does feel like one of the trickier tier lists I've ever made. Like, I don't know. Maybe more experience with these red zones would be good, but I do want to put this one out tonight, and then we'll probably do an LR one tomorrow with Piccolo and Ultimate Gohan. I think 16 here, Gamma 1 right there is good. If Gamma 1, if this first hit, dude, is just so rough. If this first hit wasn't so rough, I would probably have Gamma 1 up this list quite a bit, but I just feel like he could get blasted, man. He really can. 16 can too, but like, it's from those attacks, right? Which is Bio Broly, and then of course, the turn 3 gammas. I feel like that is solid. 16 and the Android team still are great across the game though, which is good. All right, next I do want to get MVP 17. I feel like he's just so I wanted to raise him up because it's like all of these fights now, like he's great against Cell Max, he's great against Bio Broly, he's great against the Gammas, he has 2-turn support, regular support, Rainbow Orb changing, high damage reduction, Scouter, 100% dodge on command. I mean, I could keep going on and on and on. You guys got it. Like, I almost feel like I could get 17 up even higher, potentially. But it's just like 16 pre-artificial lifeform red zone. Like, he could tank most of these attacks, right? We could use him. He could put on a good show against Red Zone Broly. Remember, the pure Saiyan Red Zone Broly. He could do good against the Gohan and the Gohan, Goten, and Trunks fight. But, I mean, things are just a little bit different now. The very, very top damage, I mean, most characters can't tank it. But, 17 has that on command, 100% dodge. This is really a truly crazy ability. Just like, you choose when to do it. All these 100% dodges for these characters, usually you don't really choose. It's like, oh, their first turn, after they revive, first turn after they transform. This guy, we literally could just activate it when we want. It's just so crazy. Such a crazy ability. Next here is where we would get STR Gamma 2. STR Gamma 2 is a character I think who can get clapped up honestly quite a bit. But like he's still pretty effective. He can get his dodge up so high he could be usable in all content because of that. It's no restrictions is very helpful, especially right now with a lot of these teams and looking for specific characters we want to run against Cell Max and stuff. I do feel the burden of some of the category restrictions on a lot of these characters, but STR Gamma 2, I really do love how he doesn't have a restriction at all, right? Like, we could just freely run him wherever we want to, which is really good. Piccolo is super crazy as well once we're able to go into him. I like Gamma 2 right here. Next, we'll get the Tech Androids. Tech Androids just continue to be crazy with their toolkit. The active skill Ghost Usher, supremely broken against Bio Broly, Cell Max, all these dudes. Cell Max is one of the trickier bosses in the game. The androids do happen to have a Ki Blast nullification, which means as long as your HP is above 35% or you get 7 Ki Spheres, you will be nullifying Cell Max's super. Cell Max cannot damage them at all, which is really good. They also have dodge built in, damage reduction, orb changing. Remember, orb changing can be very good for characters that have it, like 17, the Tech Androids in that Gamma fight, right? Because the Gamma fight, I mean, low-key, one of those mechanics that is just so annoying, those bombs. You guys know, the bombs, dude, are crazy. The bomb mechanic, I think, is really nutty, man. It's a frustrating as shit mechanic to deal with. Next, I would probably put Gamma 2 right here. I think Gamma 2 is looking really solid. I have seen some moments where he could take some damage. Perhaps it's moments where, maybe he's not next to Gamma 1, doesn't have a lot of his Gamma links up, right? Remember, he can get a lot of defense from links such as Red Urban Army, Shocking Speed, Android Assault. If he has a kind of a weak opening, right before you're able to hit this right here, before you can get that additional super. But, like, this guy, I don't know, like, he kind of just shows up, you go in slot 2, you could quickly get a Scouter up, he's got a Ki Blast nullification, which is great, again, for that Cell Max fight. It is only a 50-50, but he's got 50% there, and at minimum, he's also got 50% here, so he's going to give you a decent shot at it. I really, really have found Gamma 2 to be a very explosive and really good character. Maybe I'm kind of giving too much to like dodge and Ki Blast nullification in this list, but I mean, it does feel like that's a huge part in characters that could be run in like all these fights. I mean, there is Tamagami 1 as well. I don't want to lose sight of the fact that Tamagami 1 fight does exist, but it does feel like artificial lifeform red zone is the standard right now, right? So we'll go with that right there. Next, we have Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku. I think is very, very, very good. Especially when we're running him with this Demonic Power team. Demonic Power has been drastically buffed with the superhero LRs, which we can easily slot in there. I haven't really found too much issue with him in a lot of these fights. He does, of course, have a Ki Blast nullification, which works really well against Cell Max. He can do well in a lot of these fights. I do like Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Maybe some people disagree with Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku, but like if we okay, so like him versus Gamma 2, but I don't know. I just feel like between the 2-turn support, how reasonably tanky he is with his dodge, his damage reduction, the guard for the first several turns. This is only the Gamma fight is the one fight where this will be an issue, but I don't think Daima Goku, he's not going to get tossed up by their normals. Once you get to turn 3, he could be killed by them for sure, as could almost all characters. But I think Daima Goku, he'll be quite effective in there. He also would give you a chance against that turn 2 Gamma 2 as well. You know, you could actually do a little bit of YOLOing with that, right? That is another tricky part. I like Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku. I feel like right here works good. I feel like I could, if you really wanted to, you probably could argue maybe the next 3 Android characters above him. I mean, 17's a little much, but maybe him too. I don't know. Is there really truly that much separation between a lot of these TURs, though? We're definitely in a meta right now where every single character can be killed and will be killed. I guess we don't really see the tech androids die. The tech androids are the one character that we just never, they never die. And the character I was struggling, there's 2 more characters we're going to talk about besides the top 10. And then at number 1 is still Ultimate Gohan and Gamma 1. I will say this character's restrictions do annoy the crap out of me. The superhero restriction, but superhero is a ridiculous category right now. With the stacking, the way they could deal with enemy super attacks, though, I mean, I feel like you just gotta have this character at 1. You could probably argue this character as maybe one of the top 3 overall units in the game, probably, very likely, right? So, I'd probably end with this. The only thing I'm thinking, now we've got the list complete. Is there anything about this that maybe I'm feeling apprehensive about? It would maybe just be Daima Goku download. Should I put him below? He does have the big active skill. He's got the dodge. I mean, but Gamma 2 does have more dodge. You know what? I think I will... Maybe I'll regret it later. I think I'm going to do this. I was feeling that. I'm going to do this. So we'll drop him down 2. So we'll get Gamma 1 and Ultimate Gohan. Gamma 2, who I think is really good. The tech androids, I mean, dude, they're just... And this is not just an android thing, too, by the way. You run them on future/fuse fighters. This character's ridiculous. And this character being another future character will help Vegeta and Trunks if you're going to run them. It'll help the Blues, because their actives will be stronger. It'll help Rose, right? This character's crazy, dude. This character is crazy. And then Daima Goku. The one thing about Daima Goku that I'm thinking about, I kind of feel like I think the Gamma fight is the hardest of the 3 most challenging fights of the Artificial Lifeform Red Zone. And I would say that's probably the fight where this guy feels maybe the most potentially ineffective. But I mean, he's got that Ki Blast nullification. I think this is a fine spot right here. This feels better to me. With the way I've been using some of these teams with the tech androids and Gamma 2, I feel like he's been so explosive. I like this. Yeah, this feels a little bit better to me. So I have this here too. Again, let's just make this slight alteration. I wasn't really too sure where to move characters up or down for this, though. Because it's I find this just a little bit tricky right now. Like, I feel like maybe I could do this. This is probably what I should do, and then we just call it a day. I think is probably how we're gonna go with this. That Ultimate Gohan in Gamma 1 is really good. Remember, this character can also deal with the Bio Broly super attack, right? Actually eating it. However, remember, Bio Broly stuns you. So it's like, if you're on turn 3 or turn 4 and this character has not gotten stacks, you will take 0 damage from the super. But if he does any normals before he does the super, this character could get exploded. So, there are, like, again, every character in the game right now can be killed. Dokkan, they do seem to be leaning very heavily into, again, that matchup-based content. So, chat, this is how I think we're going to go with this right here. Ultimate Gohan, Gamma 1, Gamma 2, Tech Androids, Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku, Gamma 2 and Orange Piccolo, STR 17, 16, Gamma 1, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and Sin. Now, quickly, there is 2 more characters I was really dying to get on here. Yamcha, because the thing is, previously, it's like Yamcha's not on the list, and I'd say, well, I can't use him. Well, now I can. It almost doesn't feel right to me to put Yamcha on the list and then bump off, like, Sin as, like one of the linchpins of the Omega team right now. I think the Omega team could get clapped up a bit in the Gammas, but could also win. The Omega team does struggle heavily against Cell Max, but it doesn't have any trouble in any of the other content, right? Like, I mean, we can't use Yamcha in Tamagami 1, right? I mean, I guess Yamcha would be pretty effective against Gohan, Goten, and Trunks, but, I mean, I just need to talk about Yamcha here, and the fact that, I mean, he now, with the friend system fix, we could just run Yamcha whenever. Run his team, right? His team is great for the Cell Max fight. And Yamcha, I don't know that I've ever seen him die since he's EZ8. Like, if there's not dodge canceling. If there isn't dodge canceling, I don't know that I've ever, I'm racking my brain. I can't think of one time Yamcha's ever died. So that's a point to make. And then, of course, I mean, I can't just end the video without discussing it. I'm going to choose to not include him, but yeah, I mean, here's the thing. As long as Dokkan makes fights where a lot of the action happens right away, this guy is going to be really crazy. So, I think Yamcha and Boo, to me, are 2 characters who could be easily included on this list. If I had to, I guess Sin would fall off, and then, I guess in Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta or Gamma 1, I could see falling off the list as well. Gamma 1, that first hit is just very scary. I find myself, going through a lot of these runs with a lot of fear about Gamma 1. 16 at the very least, that is not the case, unless it's specifically Bio Broly or, Big Mac Daddy Gammas fully built up where no one can tank them, right? So, yeah, ending it, I do literally have to talk about these 2. Another character who's, I guess, kind of bubbling, we could quickly talk about him, is AGL Kid Gohan. AGL Kid Gohan, of course, can be very effective. He might need, a little bit of luck. I've gone into the Cell Max fight and he's been blown away right away, but I know for sure that AGL Kid Gohan can be very effective in that Cell Max fight the way things go. If he would have All in the Family up, if he maybe just be able to get a stack or 2 up first, I'm sure AGL Kid Gohan could do good in there. The way things run in, the Bio Broly fight, I think AGL Kid Gohan can be very effective in there. The Gamma fight, probably not so much, but some of these other fights, yeah. So, it's tough. They just dropped a lot of very elite TURs, and it's if we're gonna do an outright top 10, some good characters are gonna get left off, which I would say the first 3 off here are Kid Gohan, Fat Boo, and Yamcha. Quickly, let's pull up the very last tier list I did, which would be this. So let's take a look here. So this is basically pre-nasty artificial life form red zone fights. Super Saiyan 4 Goku, of course, drops off. And then, you know, we get the new Gammas coming in as well. So I guess Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Kid Gohan are the 2 that ended up kind of like falling off. Dude, 17, bro. Like, he's got the orb changing to help with the Gammas, the on-command 100% dodge, the high damage reduction, the support, the multiple turn support, right? Like, I think we could probably even make a good case to move 17 up. I think so. He's really good. So, all right, guys, we're going to end with this right here. Let me know what you guys think. Top 10 TURs. We will do an LR list tomorrow as well. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you angels next time.